Right now, we are going to conduct the swearing of our newly elected board members, two who were re-elected to office and one newly elected board member. Each has to be sworn in prior to the beginning of this meeting. And so at this point, we're going to be showing the swearing in of Mrs. Lewis as our newly elected board member. And so give us 1 second and the video and the sound will come on.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Joanne Gilbert. I am a former board member of the Rialto Unified School District. I am so honored at this time to introduce to you and present the oath of office to our newest board member, Stephanie E. Lewis. Stephanie.
Thank you, Mrs. Gilbert. It gives me great honor and pleasure to be elected to serve as your next board member. I would like to introduce my family, Mr. Esteban Bennett, my husband, and my son, Mr. Sterling Bennett.
Thank you. Stephanie, would you please raise your right hand and repeat after I repeat the oath of office. I, Stephanie E. Lewis, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter. Repeat after.
I, Stephanie E. Lewis, do solemnly affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear truth, faith, and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties which I am about to enter.
Thank you, Stephanie.
And thank you, Ms. Gilbert, again. You have been my mentor, my friend, and my support system. Thank you, voters. I will serve. I will do my very best with honest and integrity. Thank you, family, for always being by my side. You're my number one support system.
And now we will have board member Mr. Edgar Montes swear in board member, newly elected board member, Mrs. Nancy G. O'Kelly.
You mean re-elected?
Yes.
Ms. O'Kelly,
Yes,
are you ready?
yes, I'm ready, but I don't have a paper, so please don't expect me to rattle the whole thing off like that. Let's do it in sections.
Well, if it's okay with you, we could do it the way we've always done it in the past, and I'll just read a little bit and you'll repeat a little bit so we make it easy. We've done enough of these to know the road.
That was what I was referring to, so that will be fine.
Okay, then. That's fine. Let's see here. Please stand and raise your right hand.
Okay?
Okay, and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Nancy O'Kelly,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
that
I will bear true faith
and
allegiance to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter. Congratulations, Ms. O'Kelly.
Thank you, Mr. Montes, very much.
Thank you for that to you both. And now I have the honor of swearing in newly re-elected member, Mr. Joseph W. Martinez. So, Mr. Martinez, will you please stand?
Yes, sir. Ready?
Raise your right hand and also repeat after me, and I will do it in sections as well. So I, Joseph W. Martinez.
I, Joseph W. Martinez.
Solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California.
Do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution
of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California.
Of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California.
That I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation.
That I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion. And that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter. Congratulations, and with this oath, you, Mrs. O'Kelly and Mrs. Lewis, are now seated officially as board members of the Rialto Unified School District Board of Education. Congratulations to each of you, and a nice round of virtual applause.
Yay! Thank you.
So again, congratulations to each of you. With that, Mrs. O'Kelly, I turn it over to you to initiate and open our meeting for tonight.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Tonight is Wednesday, December 16th, 2020, and I am calling this meeting to order at 6:28 p.m. First, we are in open session, and the first item is comments on closed session agenda items. Any person wishing to speak on any item on the closed session agenda will be granted 3 minutes. Do we have any, Dr. Avila?
We do not.
Okay. Can I have a motion to move into closed session?
Motion.
So moved. Okay. Please state your name. I couldn't distinguish there. I heard two voices. Who made the motion? Okay.
Walker.
And can I have a second?
Martinez.
Montes made the second. Okay, and vote by board members. Ms. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
And myself, aye. Okay. And first, I want to go over the items we'll be discussing in closed session: public employee employment, discipline, dismissal, release, reassignment of employees, Government Code Section 54957.
Point of order, President.
Yes.
Point of order, President Kelly. The full roll call was not taken on the vote.
But I think it was. I have
No, ma'am.
everybody.
Well, just in
No,
case,
who am I missing?
I'd like to vote aye. Montez?
Oh my gosh, I had you down for the second and forgot to put the aye. Okay, thank you, Mr. Montes. Okay, so the first item is Government Code Section 54957, which I previously explained what that is. The second item is student expulsions, reinstatements, expulsion enrollments. And the third item is conference with labor negotiators, agency designated representatives, Cuauhtemoc Avila, EDD, superintendent, Rhea MacGyver Gibbs, EDD, lead personnel agent, personnel services, and Rhonda Kramer, lead personnel agent, personnel services. Employee organizations, California School Employees Association, Chapter 203, CSEA, Rialto Education Association, REA, and Communication Workers of America, CWA. With that being said, we are ready to move into closed session at 6:31 p.m. Okay. First thing we need to do is to adjourn closed session. Can I have a motion to adjourn closed session?
I move Lewis, board member.
Okay. Can I have a second?
Martinez?
Second.
Okay. And now we do the vote by board member. So again, Ms. Lewis? Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
Mr. Montes?
Aye.
Ms. Walker?
Aye.
And myself, aye. Okay, and we are adjourning closed session at 7:02 p.m. All right, next item is open session is reconvening at 7:02 p.m. The first item is the Pledge of Allegiance. And like we have been doing, I will say it if everybody will stand and hold their hand over their heart. Okay, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, Dr. Avila, do we have a report out of closed session?
Yes, ma'am, we have one. The Board of Education accepted the retroactive payment of underpaid secondary teacher number 2011110. The roll call vote was unanimous. That's all we have.
Okay. The next item is the reorganization of the Board of Education. We do this every December, and typically we follow a pattern of whatever office the person was holding. They either go up or down or back to being a member. So the first item is election of president. I have been delighted to serve as the president this year. And my time is over, so we need to go ahead and make a motion to elect a different president. Now, ordinarily, it would be Ms. Dina Walker because she is our current vice president. However, she has requested that we not nominate her because this year she has been...
Ms. O'Kelly, point of order. Ms. O'Kelly?
Yeah, okay.
If I may just make a suggestion.
Uh-huh.
We're supposed to follow. We're not, we do it out of like a mutual agreement or out of respect for all board members to rotate the positions.
Right.
Okay. So the order we've been following, in a friendly manner and in a mutual agreement is everybody bumps up one. So if that's not possible, for whatever the reasons may be this year, maybe the next fairest thing to do would be to bump up twice.
Right.
That way,
Do you want to make a motion, Mr. Montes, for
to bump everybody up twice.
candidates for president?
Well, I mean, if there's a real good reason why we can't bump up once, everybody like we're used to rotating, then I would suggest that we bump up twice.
Right. I understand.
So for example, Mr. Martinez is in line to be vice president, myself to be clerk, and you would go back down to a board member. Ms. Dina is supposed to go. Ms. Dina is supposed to go up to. Ms. Walker is supposed to go up to president. If she refuses to serve as president for a good reason, I think the next fairest thing to do would to bump everybody up twice then. So that would make board clerk Martinez instead of vice president. That would make him president.
That's true too. Okay, and that's what I was thinking of anyway. So let's stop right there. Let's stop right there and get that one done. So can I have a motion to elect Joe Martinez to be president of the Board of Education?
So moved. Walker.
Okay, and can I have a second?
Second, Lewis.
Okay, and now we're going to do a vote by board members for Joe Martinez to be president of the Board of Education. Ms. Lewis, can I have your vote? Aye. Mr. Martinez?
Abstain.
Mr. Montes?
Aye.
Ms. Walker?
Aye.
And myself, it's an aye. Okay, so congratulations, Mr. Martinez. You are our newly elected president of the Board of Education.
Take it away, Mr. Martinez.
Yay!
Okay, so for vice president of the Board of Education, do I have a nomination?
Ms. O'Kelly, we have a new board president. I'm sorry.
Oh, gosh. I will gladly hand over my gavel, Mr. Martinez. You can take over from here.
Thank you, Ms. O'Kelly.
Is Mr. Martinez there? Oh, I think he's...
He was disconnected. He's dialing in right now.
Okay.
Well, I'd say this is very interesting because Mr. Martinez is always on the calls. This usually doesn't happen to him at all.
Really? Well,
right.
Dr. Avila said he got disconnected. He's trying to dial back in. I guess he's having problems. Mr. Martinez, are you there yet?
Hello, hello.
Hello, Mr. Martinez.
Congratulations,
Okay,
Mr. Martinez.
thank you. I think you gave my phone a conniption.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
that's the first time.
congratulations. But since you're the new president, you get to take over at this point.
All right. Thank you, Ms. O'Kelly. President O'Kelly, thank you for your previous year of service, and Ms. Walker for your previous year of service, and all board members for their service in the past year. Let's move on to A92, election of Vice President of the Board of Education. Can I have a motion, or actually, can I have a nomination?
This is Walker. I nominate Board Member Montez for Vice President.
I second that.
Thank you. Was that Ms. O'Kelly?
Yes.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. So I will go down the list. Ms. Lewis.
Aye.
Can I? Thank you.
I accept the nomination. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. And Mr. Montez, do you wish to vote, or do you wish to abstain?
Aye.
Okay. Ms. O'Kelly is an aye, and Ms. Walker?
Mm-hmm.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. And congratulations, Mr. Montez. You are now Vice President of the Board of Education. Okay, we are moving on to the
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Congratulations, sir.
Yay.
Thank you, guys.
Totally. I really need to get a clap sound like football players, you know, when they're playing in an empty stadium, they have the crowd cheering. We need that.
Well, Mr. Martinez, you know that as board, you as the new president and me as the new vice president, we got our work cut out for us with this pandemic, right?
That's right, sir. It is a challenge.
I have survived it for almost the entire year. You will do fine.
Oh, yeah. As long as my phone behaves itself, I sure will. Thank you. Okay, let's move on to A93, which is election of the clerk of the Board of Education. Can I have a nomination for the clerk of the board?
I'd like to nominate Mrs. Stephanie Lewis as board clerk.
Okay.
I second that.
Okay,
Yeah.
I have a motion and a second. Okay, Ms. Lewis, would you like to vote or abstain?
Aye. Yes.
Okay. And I also vote aye. Mr. Montez, or Vice President Montez?
Aye.
All right. Ms. O'Kelly, you're back in the rocking chair as a board member. You get to relax for a year.
Right.
How do you?
The aye for Stephanie. That's fine.
And Ms. Walker?
Aye.
All right, thank you. Ms. Lewis, you're clerk of the board, and congratulations.
Oh, thank you, and thank you, board.
Congratulations. Yay.
Yes, okay. Moving right along, we're moving to A94, and that is election of voting representative to the county committee. I don't think there was but 2 meetings every year, and up till last year, I believe it was Mr. Montez last year, or Vice President Montez. So would anybody like to serve, or do we have to go through nominations?
Board member, this is Board Member Walker. I would like to serve.
Okay, can I have a nomination for Board Member Walker?
I move, this is Stephanie Lewis, I move for Board Member Walker to serve.
Second.
Okay. All righty, and do we have a second?
Second, Montez.
Okay, Ms. O'Kelly, thank you. Quick on the draw there. All right, Ms. Lewis, how do you vote?
Aye.
Okay, and I vote aye as well. Vice President Montez, how do you vote?
Aye.
Thank you, sir.
And I vote aye.
All right, thank you. And Ms. Walker, do you vote or abstain?
I will abstain.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Walker. Congratulations. You are the voting representative to the county committee. And it's pretty easy work, but it comes sometimes at an inopportune time. So they also have an alternate voting representative. Would anybody like to serve as the alternate?
I will serve as the alternate if no one else wants it.
Okay. Would anybody else like it? Okay. Do we have a second or a nomination for Ms. O'Kelly?
I nominate Ms. O'Kelly Lewis for second.
Okay, and this is Ms. Lewis' nomination?
Yes, for Ms. O'Kelly.
Okay, thank you very, very much, Clerk Lewis. And can I have a second for the alternate voting representative, tentatively, Ms. O'Kelly?
Montez.
Walker, second.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Walker. Okay, Ms. Lewis, how do you vote?
Aye.
Okay, and I also vote aye. Vice President Montez, how do you vote?
Aye.
Okay, Ms. O'Kelly, would you like to vote or
Aye.
abstain? Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, Ms. Walker, how would you like to vote?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, we have adoption of the agenda, item A10. Can I have a motion to adopt? Was that O'Kelly? Please give the
I
last
just wanted
name.
to
Go ahead.
mention that Dr. Avila has some readouts to read before we adopt the agenda.
All righty. The floor is yours, Dr. Avila.
Yes, thank you, President Martinez. So item E.1.1.1, minutes of regular board meeting of November 18th, 2020, will be pulled from the agenda and submitted for board approval on January the 13th, 2021. Also, a correction to agenda item F4, agreement with BM Aware for software purchases of carbon black and monitoring devices. The recommendation paragraph in the backup of this board item, page 131 of the agenda, has been revised as follows. Our recommendation is to approve an agreement with VMware for an annual software purchase of carbon black and the monitoring devices to support endpoint security for 15,000 user devices and servers. Additionally, this agreement includes the renewal of Workspace ONE, our mobile device manager, licenses, and the renewal of our enterprise license agreement for our virtual infrastructure. These annual software licenses will be effective from December 17, 2020 through December 16, 2021. The Rialto Unified School District negotiated a significant discount of $1 million for this tailored solution. And that is all.
Okay, thank you, sir. And thank you to Beth Ann Scantleberry and Raul Maciel for getting that great price for us. It is greatly appreciated and greatly needed by our community. Okay, is there anything else, Dr. Avila?
No, that is all I have.
Thank you, sir. All right, can I have a motion to adopt the agenda, please?
So moved. Lewis.
Okay. Thank you, Clerk Lewis. I'll remember the titles soon enough here. Okay, and can I have a second to adopt the agenda?
Second. O'Kelly?
Thank you. Board Member O'Kelly, that president part is going to hang with you for a little bit. Okay. Thank you, Ms. O'Kelly. Okay, how would you like to vote? Ms. Clerk Lewis?
Aye.
Thank you. I also vote aye. Vice President Montez? How do you vote?
Aye.
Thank you, sir. And
I vote aye.
Thank you. And Ms. Walker?
Aye.
Thank you. That mute button, I know it's a problem over here too. Okay, we have no presentations. I'm sorry, with that, the agenda is adopted. And we go to B, and there are no presentations. Then C, comments. C1, public comments from the floor. At this time, any person wishing to speak on any item not on the agenda will be granted 3 minutes. Dr. Avila, do we have any?
Yes, we have a few.
Okay, please go ahead.
So first is, my name is Tim Edmondson. I am the owner of Art Specialties, and we specialize in digitally printed graphics for schools. My company has developed a line of hands-free, safely distanced floor games so your students can safely play together as we climb out of the valley of COVID-19. The products I want to introduce to you today are called Footprints. We named our products Footprints because all of our games are played afoot, which means there's no need to sanitize game surfaces after they are used. Our products are also designed to keep a safe distance between players at all times. The games are challenging, fun, and easy to install. They can be applied to concrete, asphalt, carpet, or linoleum, so they work well outside or inside. Our products are already being used at daycare facilities and a few local districts that have already opened with much success. The games can either be purchased individually or as packages. We offer discount if you order in bulk. Each game has a QR code for instructions on how to install and how to play. I'm sure you're all looking forward to a safe return to in-person learning, whether it's this year or next. And I am happy to inform you that my company has the perfect solution to help incorporate physical education and recess into your school day. Please visit our website for more information at footprints.com. And this is from Raina King. Next, this is from Lorette Maya. The preemptive schedule changes that are being forced at certain sites for hybrid is a huge mistake. This is not a student-driven approach and will cause more problems for our counselors, teachers, and students. Our counselors are already under heavy pressure, and there has been no regard to their workload or concerns. Teachers' concerns have similarly been ignored. With the way these changes have been happening, it begs the question if parents have even been told that a move to hybrid would result in a complete upheaval of their child's schedules. As an RSP teacher, I am extremely resistant to the idea of making these changes without proper notice to our kids. Special education students have a much harder time readjusting to changes, and it is not in their best interest to be moved from classes they have already become accustomed to. On top of that, I fear that with the amount of work counselors are being forced to do in such a short span of time, they will, of no fault of their own, accidentally overlook our RSP SDC kids' schedules and make serious mistakes with their classes, which could result in litigious action from the parents if they are misplaced. This proactive approach is a huge disruptive mistake, especially since it is extremely unlikely we will be back to in-person by March. If Rialto stays in purple tier till June, or the board decides not to return to in-person instruction, then all these changes will have been pointless and a waste of time and money. Instead, we should follow San Bernardino's declaration to continue online instruction for the rest of the year. I totally understand that online instruction is hurting our kids, but changing schedules to a hybrid model mid-year is not the solution and would do more harm than good for our students' mental well-being. Again, Lorette Maya, Rialto High School. Good afternoon. This message is note of appreciation to the Rialto Nutrition Program. My name is Maricela Ferguson. I am the director of iHelp, i.e. Serving Seniors. We are a nonprofit 501c3 organization that advocates for seniors and their inter-cross-generational families. Especially during this ever-changing roller coaster COVID-19 year, many seniors have experienced food insecurity. This is another reason why community organizations such as iHelp IE and school partnerships are critical. The RUSD Central Kitchen has reached out to iHelp IE, which has resulted in several school-aged children along with their senior grandparents eating a nutritious meal. On Friday, November 20th, 2020, Mrs. Fasad and Maria Rangel of Nutrition's program reached out to iHelp IE in our Rialto community with food boxes, and over 40 families were served. We ran out of boxes and more families kept coming because there is such a great need. I want to personally thank you for your professional and compassionate RUSD Central Kitchen staff's leadership and commitment to our community. Please feel free to contact me for further outreach to community events. Sincerely, Maricela S. Ferguson, Director of iHelp IE Serving Seniors. Next year, Dr. Avila and School Board. It is my understanding that high schools within the district are planning severe schedule changes for second semester with the potential of going to hybrid learning. While I understand the need to be flexible under the circumstances, I also know how detrimental this year has been to our students, and I fear even more extreme changes will cause even more damage to their already difficult school year. As you are all aware, this school year has been like no other. We don't get to see our kids in person, and in secondary, we had a 3-week disruption with the malware attack. Both the students and the staff are stressed to almost our wits' end, but we are making this work. Despite this, we have still managed to build relationships and strong bonds with our students. Despite our circumstances, we have finally developed some type of normalcy for ourselves. But now I hear the district wants to disrupt the normalcy and bonds to the lives of our kids and staff in upheaval once again. There is simply no legitimate reason to do this to our kids and staff again. We don't need to mass schedule changes to accommodate hybrid learning. I'll be the first to say that our kids need to be back in school. I look forward to the day when that can happen. However, we all know that hybrid learning isn't any better than distance learning. Students will still be sitting in their bubbles, unable to interact with each other properly as teenagers should. Teachers will not be able to interact and teach as they should. It's a novel idea that makes us think we are doing a better job, but in reality, that is not the case. At Rialto High School, less than 800 students have requested hybrid learning. That is less than a third of our student population that is willing to come back to school, while the rest of our student population continues to work from home, completing distance learning. In reality, even our hybrid learning students will still be spending a large portion of their day in a computer lab on campus, continuing distance learning classes because they simply won't be enough hybrid classes available for them to attend in person. My question to you is, why are we even considering going to hybrid learning in the first place? Not only do most of our students prefer to remain distance learning, but to attempt to go hybrid learning is highly disruptive to the schedules they have become accustomed to and the bonds and relationships they have built. Of course, we can't ignore obvious problems of going back to hybrid learning. We are in the middle of a pandemic. The governor has put us on lockdown once again because the surge of cases of COVID-19 and the lack of ICU beds in Southern California. Within the first 4 days of school, I had a COVID positive student in my class. This was not an anomaly. This has become the norm. Since the beginning of school, I have had at least one positive student in my class every few weeks. In the last month, this number has grown to several COVID-19 positive students in my class per week. Had we been in class, how many times would we have had to have quarantine by now. If we go back to hybrid learning, how many times will this happen? We also need to be realistic and follow the science. Statistics have shown us minority populations, specifically Hispanics and African Americans, are hardest hit by COVID-19 and tend to have the worst health outcome. Our district serves a higher population of these two demographics, and we need to properly protect our community members, keep them safe, and educate all of the students. To knowingly and intentionally put any of our students, their families, community members, and staff at risk would be unconscionable. San Bernardino City Unified School District made a smart decision for all stakeholders when they decided to remain at distance learning for the rest of the school year. I urge you to make the same decision. Thank you for your consideration. Sincerely, Jennifer Baldwin. Hello, my name is Ryan Crabtree. I would like to make my opinion known to the board regarding hybrid classes. This is about the most thoughtless thing I've ever heard of. Logistically, this is absurd. Ethically, this is tragic and entirely missing the mark. For the students, I think we are doing them a huge disservice by completely throwing any semblance of normalcy or routine out the window and plaguing them all with completely new and different schedules and a potentially new set of teachers and classroom norms. The students are failing distance learning at an alarming rate. And to completely change their classes for the second semester shows that RUSD is not considering the students. At this point, after semester one grades are completed, it should become quite clear that students will all receive the grades they have earned and that these grades are final. I believe changing everything will only cause further stress and anxiety to a generation of students who are already at the end of their rope. Additionally, the uncertainty of when the actual in-person instruction will take place due to constantly changing COVID restrictions will leave students in a position of waiting in expectation for something that may not come to fruition. We can also surmise that the likelihood of students returning to on-campus instruction with positive COVID-19 exposure is insurmountable. With that, we will wind up sending all their classes into quarantine and possibly exposing the otherwise safe students to the virus. This is premature, and I believe the best course of action is to finish out the year in distance learning. This takes the guesswork out and allows students to settle in, knowing that yet another monkey wrench will not be thrown into their lives. I was 100% against this at the beginning, and I'm now 100% against changing everything again. The students need continuity and reliability when the rest of the world is such a hectic mess. Thank you for considering what is truly best for our students at this point. Ryan Crabtree. Tonight, the board swears in a new member, Mrs. Stephanie Lewis. She is being sworn in as our nation is in the middle of a pandemic that has forced our schools to close, and now our students are being taught online. Mrs. Lewis is a nurse, and her campaign was focused on the intersection of public health and educating our youth. I look forward to seeing her interact with our board and provide new insights into the issues we face. She is filling the seat that was held by Joe Ayala, a retired school teacher. Mr. Ayala was a credit to our profession, and he will be missed. I had the pleasure of working with Mr. Ayala on several issues over the years, including issues specific to my school site at Frisbee Middle School. He understood that a rising tide lifts all boats and approached all issues with an open mind. I greatly appreciated his always positive outlook, and I wish him well. We have two board members that will return to office, Joe Martinez and Nancy O'Kelly. I congratulate you both and encourage you to visit my online classroom anytime. In fact, I hope all of our board members get a chance to visit online classes and see what we see. This has been a challenging year, but the new year brings fresh optimism with the rollout of the COVID vaccines. I am anxious to get back into my classroom when it's safe to do so. Sincerely, Tobin Brinker, Frisbee Middle School. I am a teacher at Rialto High School and have proudly been part of this district since 2011 when I started as a sub and worked my way to a permanent position as a teacher. At this point, I feel my safety and concerns are clearly not a priority of the district, and that any decision will be made without input from all stakeholders. I am at a loss at the decision to push forward with a hybrid model when our own city has been in the purple zone during the entirety of this pandemic. I am going to be losing a lot of good students due to these schedule changes, all for a plan that will likely not come to fruition because of decisions that were made without the input from others. I get that we need to have a plan, but at this point, we should be thinking about the safety of your students, families, and staff. We should be following the example of San Bernardino Unified and stay on a distant learning model for the remainder of the year to maintain consistency. The district always expects teachers and schools to maintain consistency, so it should be the same at the district level as well. Granted, our consistency has not been that great this year in lieu of all of the weird things that have occurred this year. I find it asinine that the district would choose to change schedules for the sake of a hybrid model plan. The administration's bottom line is that we need to be back in the classroom as soon as possible. So we should prepare just in case, but this is a single-sided decision. I don't see how forcing unnecessary schedule changes justifies your preparation when the likelihood of us returning to the classroom at all this year is quite frankly slim. Not to mention the plan if we are actually able to do this hybrid model. Who is going back and how students without teachers who are supposed to be on campus would be handled? I'm aggravated that this decision has been made at a top level with the idea that everyone would be okay with this decision to plan for a hybrid model with opinions from only a small group and absolutely no input from people who could potentially be exposed to a virus with the potential to adversely affect someone's life. I do not feel that the best interests of the stakeholders are truly into consideration. It's nice to know that we have this plan and you want to move this forward, but you're not the ones who are potentially being exposed to this virus in the long run. So I guess we're expendable. And this is from Kevin Robert. Dear Rialto School Board members, I am writing this letter to inform the board of the discrimination and social injustice that is taking place in this district and asking you to take a stand and right this wrong. I received an invitation that was sent to all eligible employees to inquire about a CERP that RUSD was offering. I attended the meeting and met all requirements to participate. I have been an adult education teacher in the Rialto School District for approximately 25 years. After submitting my interest survey, I was told I didn't qualify solely because I am an adult education teacher, and adult education teachers are the only teachers in the district that are not eligible for the CERP. When I asked for the exclusion policy in writing, I was told there wasn't a written policy excluding me. In addition, I was told they also do not have to provide me with the retirement medical benefits all teachers are entitled to, even though I was told when hired I would get them. I was literally told, although RUSD does not have the exclusion in writing, I don't have anything in writing that proves I should get the benefits. It is unbelievable to me that in the current climate of injustices and inequities, and after 25 years of serving RUSD, would want to deny me my benefits. This discrimination and inequity against adult education teachers is just as wrong as racial discrimination. Board members, on behalf of all adult ed teachers, I implore you to work together to rectify this horrific injustice and inequity to the adult education teachers in Rialto School District and treat us all as other teachers in the district treated. Kindly, Nancy Gillespie. Good afternoon. I would like to thank Rialto Unified School District for giving free meals to all kids ages 1 through 18. Even though my kids are not from Rialto USD, getting a free breakfast, lunch, and supper for 7 days really helps a lot, especially in this COVID pandemic. I'm really grateful to all the hard work and the dedication in distributing all those foods to the community. Kudos to Dr. Avila for leading such a wonderful school district who always serves and gives back to the community. Know that the sacrifices that your team is doing, going outside, risking their health to distribute packed food, even though San Bernardino County is on a purple tier, meaning widespread, are very much appreciated. I wish you all well, stay healthy, and always be safe. Erwin Velasco. Good evening, RUSD board members and community. My name is Brenda Bristow. I am a longtime resident of Rialto. I wanted to take a moment to say thank you to the RUSD nutrition team for reaching out to seniors. Last month, a very nice man delivered boxes of food to our housing complex. I volunteered to help. You should know a very sick cancer survivor who lives with her son and granddaughter got some food. Due to COVID-19 pandemic, the son is having a tough time finding a job, so the box of food was a blessing. Another senior we gave a box of food to has had multiple surgeries and is no longer driving. Sometimes she had to decide if she pays for transportation to the store, pay for the rent, or buy food. The box of food was another blessing for her. I can't tell you enough how appreciative and grateful the people were to receive the boxes of food. Our RUSD nutrition team is the best. Thank you again for your kindness, Brenda Bristow. And that's all we have for comments not on the agenda.
Had to make sure my mute button was unmuted. Okay, thank you, Dr. Avila. I appreciate everyone's comments. To at some point in the next day or so, discuss the hybrid learning questions, comments, and also the adult ed question. It could be looked into, but I'm not sure that we can do anything about either one. I don't recall, has the hybrid learning decision been made yet? I'm not aware of that.
No decision has been made. The board approved the plan at our previous board meeting without a timeline for it. At that meeting, it was communicated that a decision or an update would be made at this meeting, which I do have in my comment section to give staff and everyone else, the community, some direction or some indication of where we are, where we're going from here.
Okay, greatly appreciate that, as will all the commenters. And please do look into the SERP adult ed question. I'm not sure why the exclusion, but if we could find some answers, it would be appreciated.
Yes, and staff is already exploring that. It is addressed, and I'll be more than happy to give the board an update for this week. There is some language that needs to be considered, and I'll explain that in the update that I'll forward to the board this weekend.
All right, thank you, Dr. Avila. And now we move on to public comments on agenda items. Dr. Avila?
We have none.
Okay, appreciate that. Okay, thank you for a fine job in doing that, always. Okay, comments from association executive board members. Do we have comments from Rialto Education Association?
Yes, we do. These comments are from Lisa Lindbergh. Good evening, school board members, district leadership, and the RUSD community. I want to congratulate Ms. Lewis on her election and wish her well during her first term on the RUSD board. Our school board is one of the best in the area, and we look forward to a continued collaborative and productive relationship. We look forward to the new year in 2021. I wish everyone a very happy holiday season and urge everyone to stay safe and remain healthy as we enter our winter recess. Thank you for your time.
All right, thank you, REA and Ms. Lindbergh. How about the California School Employees Association, CSEA?
No comment.
Okay, how about Communication Workers of America?
No comments.
All right, and Rialto School Managers Association?
Yes, we do. Good evening, Board of Education, Dr. Avila, Innovation Team, and viewing audience. My name is Angela Berkeley, President of Rialto School Managers Association.
Your internet is unstable. turn your camera off.
We can hear that. Whoever made comment about turn your camera off, we can hear that. Continue, Dr. Avila.
My name is Angela Brantley, president of Rialto School Managers Association. Our RSMA board would like to continue to encourage us all. Though 2020 has been a year of many challenges, it has allowed us to demonstrate our collective resilience and our willingness to connect with one another with compassion and kindness. Thank you all. Thank you to all of the school teams and departments who have worked tirelessly to support our Rialto youth and families. RSMA would like to send a special shout out to Jennifer Carroll, Education Services Administrative Secretary, and Tina Brown, Administrative Agent, for being active members of RSMA and for taking hold of the critical work we have before us. When RSMA said, let's stop talking, let's take action around our equity efforts, these ladies used their agency to lead an open and heartfelt discussion with our district secretaries around the board's June resolution, Racism is a Public Health Crisis. And they encouraged our secretarial team to be empowered to contribute to the significant work of making sure all of our students and families experience equity in our schools. Thank you, ladies. It takes all of us. On Monday, December 14th, the Association of California School Administrators, ACSA, Region 12, held a virtual celebration for the annual Administrators of the Year event. Rialto is honored that our own Dr. Avila was celebrated as the 2020 Superintendent of the Year for ACSA Region 12. Congratulations, Dr. Avila. We are so proud to call you our leader. Next, we can't end the year without highlighting our RSMA leaders of the quarter. We want to recognize Michael Delvin, Warehouse Supervisor, as our classified leader of the quarter. Those who nominated Michael wrote, Michael always makes anything and everything happen for our Nutrition Services Department, even though it seems impossible. He is the first one to our events, as well as the last one to go. His amazing organizational skills and problem-solving skills have helped us succeed during our COVID-19 feeding. He is compassionate, detail-oriented, and always goes above and beyond his required job. Michael has put in countless hours volunteering with his colleagues to provide food and services to our community. He does not complain about his job and always finds a way to do more. He will always be the first to say, "What do you need me to do?" His positive impact on the cafeteria, classroom, and his community are an example of the phenomenal bridge builder that he is, and one that should all inspire to be. He is an amazing leader that is always behind the scenes, making almost the impossible logistics happen for our extremely busy nutrition department's daily deliveries and events. Next, we want to recognize Paulina Villalobos, Agent of Technology, Academic Technology, as our certificated leader of the quarter. She was nominated for her outstanding dedication in supporting students, teachers, and parents in the abrupt transition to distance learning. Her continued support with classroom technology and programs has allowed teachers to be more effective with their students and has eased the challenges of distance learning seen by all. She is already ready to assist with a smile and kind word. Congratulations to both of these outstanding leaders. RSMA will present them with their Starbucks gift and RSMA certificates at a later date. In closing, RSMA would like to wish all of our Rialto community members a safe and love-filled holiday break. Remember to be kind to those around you, especially yourself. Thank you, Angela Brantley.
Thanks, I appreciate comments. The board appreciates comments from everyone, and we'll continue with comments from the superintendent. Back to you, Dr. Avila.
Okay, thank you. And just briefly, congratulations once again to our newly elected members or re-elected board members. Ms. Lewis, we know you're a first-timer. Congratulations, and really look forward to working with you and taking advantage of all that you will contribute to our governance team here at the district office. And thanks to everyone who has done who has done everything possible to keep it together during these very challenging times, but especially to those that, like true leaders and caring human beings, have gone above and beyond what you normally do, or have explored new ways of making a difference for students, families, and each other. You are a testament that crisis and adversity brings out the best in people. But the challenges remain. The holiday season and the desire to be with family and friends is before us. So I encourage everyone to continue to be safe, stay healthy, and practice the guidelines that have been provided to us, and just exercise sound judgment during the holiday break. As we transition on several fronts, unfortunately, we are not able to transition to in-person instruction or the hybrid model. As mentioned earlier, we wanted to give staff and the community an update at this point based on data, based on numbers. And at this point, again, we are not ready to transition. The original plan was, or the hope was to maybe transition at the beginning of second semester for secondary, provided the numbers were in our favor and safe for us to do so. But at this point, we will not be transitioning to a hybrid model come January. In January, we will provide another update based on whether or not there are any plans to return to in-person instruction at all during the school year. I know there's a lot of anxiety, a lot of concern regarding the return to in-person instruction or not, and for the district to make decisions. But keep in mind that we will continue to make decisions based on data, based on information, and just common sense. While it is sometimes, yes, beneficial to consider what other districts are doing, as I had said from the beginning, our district I will make decisions as a superintendent based on the needs of this community, based on our circumstances here as a district, because highlighting what maybe another district or a couple of other districts is doing may be okay for some things, but we oftentimes don't acknowledge the other things that districts are doing that may not necessarily favor us. And so I know that this is a very trying time. And again, a lot of just anxiety, a lot of concern for everyone's well-being. But we will continue to guide our decisions based on information and not so much on impulse or being premature on some things. For that reason, we did approve the plan that was negotiated that did include all stakeholders here in the district. But without an implementation date, again, so that we would be able to use data to guide our decisions. Another thing that, or issue that has surfaced is grading. And again, I know that grading is a very sensitive topic because there are different perspectives, different points of views. The majority are willing to consider modifying the grading system for the benefit of kids. After all, we are an education institution that are here to serve the needs of students. And while some districts have moved forward with implementing a no-fail policy, we do have some in our community who are completely against it. And that's where I caution with looking at what other districts are doing, because if we go that route, we could easily cherry pick the things that we want to do that actually benefit kids as well. But again, we cannot just handpick the things that we believe are to our advantage and not the things that we don't necessarily agree with. And so we'll continue to make decisions as a team of stakeholders. No decision is being made from the upper level. Every decision, as we have said since we implemented our strategic plan, decisions that impact the entire organization are made with the input of every stakeholder in place or their representatives. And so we'll continue to do that. We look forward to a very positive return to school, whether it's at some point this school year or at the beginning of next year for that school to be in person. But in the meantime, again, the only thing that I encourage you to do is to continue to stay safe and have empathy. Just as we have shown empathy for others, our district is really moving in a direction of kindness, which includes empathy and personal honor. And again, we know that these are very stressful times for everybody involved, but these are also opportunities for us to make adjustments that are in the interest of of everyone, especially our students. Just as, there were some changes made some years back regarding the passing the exams. What was the exam? No, for teachers. The CBES, yes. Recall some years ago, the CBES was required to be taken all at once, all three parts of the CBES, but there were some individuals who were not able to pass all three parts during that one examination. And the law changed to give individuals the opportunity to take the three different parts of the exams during three different examinations, because we know that some individuals have difficulties during test times. And so it produced a lot of great teachers. It gave them the opportunity to excel at what they always wanted to do by having those modifications in place for them to be able to pass each section of the exam. And so for students, it's no different. For us to be able to make some adjustments to give them opportunities to excel and hopefully experience some degree of success during this very challenging situation. So for us to simply consider holding them accountable as a status quo, regardless of the conditions that they may be experiencing at an individual level and some of the trauma that they're going through, I think goes counter to what we as a district stand for, and that is for the health and wellness of everybody here involved, and for us to be able to explore every possible opportunity to continue to make a difference for them to succeed. And with that, I do wish Mrs. Lewis a very happy birthday this coming weekend. So congratulations, and hopefully you get an opportunity to celebrate with safely with the family. And with that, I wish everybody a happy holiday season. Thank you, President Martinez.
Thank you, Dr. Avila. Great on all the comments. You really carry the message to our public that that kindness message is really essential to where we're at right now. Okay, comments from student board member. Ms. Lopez, student board member Lopez, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
The floor is yours. Go ahead.
So I had a couple comments that I wanted to bring to the board today. And among them were, I was invited to be a part of the LCAP planning meeting, which I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed seeing the change in our system. I really enjoyed being a part of that planning. So I wanted to say thank you for being invited and for being a part of that. I also wanted to talk about equity and talk about that I'm very, very proud of our district for acknowledging that equity is a problem and acknowledging the systems that are broken. And I'm really impressed to be a part of the meetings and to sit and hear about things that the ladies are doing to help that and to make our school district more equitable. I'm very, very impressed. And I wanted to shout out them. I also wanted to shout out ethnic studies are being implemented across all high school campuses. On my campus, personally, it's being led by Nalik Davis, which is on an equity team with me. And just watching his enthusiasm and his constant effort is so impressive. And I'm just really blown away by the ability that he has to grasp his students even during this pandemic, and the things that he's doing to reach them is just a beautiful thing to see, and I'm very, very impressed with him. So I wanted to shout out him. I also wanted to shout out Mrs. Lewis. I'm excited to have you on the board. I'm so excited to work with you during the rest of our remaining year. I know we can't see each other, but it's nice to hear your voice and to have new people with us and new people that I can learn from. I'm going fast, but there's a lot to say. So I also wanted to shout out seniors. I wanted to shout out teachers. I wanted to shout out the people who are doing the little grunt work. Our nutrition services are amazing, and they do a lot of this grunt work that we're talking about. Our teachers are amazing, and they're doing a lot of this grunt work and really supporting our mental and really supporting our students. I'm just overall very impressed with how we're finishing out the semester, and I want to encourage people to be safe during this break and to take a serious serious look on how they're doing and what they need, because it's been a really rough year, and I want to make sure that everyone's taking care of themselves and keeping themselves safe. So I want to make sure that you're wearing your masks and that everybody's doing their very best for themselves and for others. Okay, those are my words for the day.
Excellent comments. Thank you very much, Student Board Member Lopez. Okay, Ms. Walker, you're next. Go ahead.
Again, congratulations to our new president, our new vice president, and new clerk. You've got 2 firsts today as new board member and on the executive council, board member Lewis, Clerk Lewis. So just really excited about that and our leadership and what, our way forward in spite of COVID. Just want to say again to all the families in the community, please stay safe. I know there's a surge, and we've had other family members actually come down with COVID. Blessings that it's not hitting my household specifically. So that's a great thing. But please stay safe. Bear with us. Bear with the community, and even with our governor on all the stay-at-home orders and everything, because we just want to be safe, and we want to be able to get back to a place where we can all be together. The other thing is, I just want to say that, my sympathies are out to our former board member, Walter Hawkins. I have to say that he has been a leader in our community around education, even in his retirement, just a champion, especially around equity. Up until even about about maybe a month and a half even before his passing, he still was sending information to me, telling me what to look, finding my data points for me, and sending me, information on how to, maneuver around some of the advocacy issues and some of our state policy stuff. So he's going to be sorely missed. He was one of the lions of our community, definitely a champion and advocate for education and higher education. And my sympathies, prayers, blessings go out to him for his blessings in heaven, and prayers for his family. Thank you.
Excellent, Ms. Walker, and our best to the Walter Hawkins family. Well, I didn't know that. That comes as a shock to me. So give me a moment here. Okay, Ms. O'Kelly, it's coming to you. Take it away.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Martinez. I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight virtually. It's been quite a year. First of all, I want to thank the voters for re-electing Mr. Martinez and myself, and for electing Ms. Lewis. I'm honored to serve another term on the board, and hopefully we can get through this pandemic and start doing some great things in school. But the pandemic 2020 has been an unusual year, to say the least. The pandemic has caused immeasurable grief to countless people who have lost loved ones. I ask you to please follow the precautions and to stay safe. I wanted to share a couple of amusing things about Christmas to hopefully put a smile on people's faces. This is a famous quote. One of the most glorious messes in the world is the mess created in the living room on Christmas Day. And don't clean it up too quickly. I think we can all relate to that. And then another one, 3 phrases that sum up Christmas are peace on earth, goodwill to men, and batteries not included. And those of you who have had children can identify with that one, I'm sure. I'm very sorry to hear about Mr. Hawkins. I did not know this, and that's very sad and very tragic. I know him, I know his wife, and my prayers are with them. And finally, I just wanted to say to everyone, have a very Merry Christmas, but be very smart and safe about what you do. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. O'Kelly. Greatly appreciate your comments. Okay, we are on to Clerk Stephanie Lewis. Go ahead.
Thank you, everyone, for the support. I feel that I am blessed to be with such a knowledgeable and a strong group of leaders that's already on the board, and a strong superintendent and his cabinets. And it's just an honor. During this time, it's anxiety. And a lot of us, the children are having anxiety, the teachers, the parents. With this COVID, it's a lot of anxiety. But this is the first time in history that we have the opportunity to really reimagine how we're going to educate our students and reimagine the classroom. And I'm so proud that we're a board that listen and so much public comment and public support. And I think when we all work together, we're going to find even a better solution. Years ago, there was a big fight when people would put handicap ramps. They didn't like the way it looked. They thought it'll devalue the city. But all of us take the ramp at one point in our lives. So as we fix and find solution to education, it's going to benefit everyone in the long run, but we just have to have faith. And I'm always willing to listen and learn, but I'm so glad that I was selected to be on an awesome board in an awesome school district by just a community that I love in Rialto. Thank you.
Excellent comments, Clerk Lewis. Thank you and welcome. Very blessed to have you on board. Vice President Montez, your turn.
Thank you, Board President Mr. Martinez. I first would like to thank Nancy O'Kelly, our immediate past president. I know that it was very difficult to lead us during this crazy time. I really do appreciate all of her hard work and leadership as our immediate past president, and all of the difficulties that came with being the chair of the board during a time like this. I don't think anybody could have done it better. Obviously we've had to make adjustments and get used to teleconferencing for our own safety and for the safety of others. So thank you, Ms. O'Kelly, again for serving as our board president, and also congratulate you on your reelection. Serve with us for another 4 years. It's very commendable of you, and thank you. I also congratulations to you, Board President Martinez. Congratulations. I wanted to formally congratulate Mrs. Stephanie Lewis. I don't believe I've had the pleasure of meeting you yet, and I do look forward to that. And then I did just want to formally thank you personally, even though it's through teleconference. But congratulations on your election. We welcome you, and we look forward to working with you. Every time someone new joins the board, they bring new energy and tremendous new perspectives. So thank you for throwing your hat in the ring and deciding to run for the school board. And congratulations again on your victory. I just want to also thank Ms. Walker for her service as vice president, and just that I was looking forward to her being the next president this year, and we understand sometimes we can't always do everything. So I do just want to say thank you, Ms. Walker, and then we know that you will work just as hard, whether you're president or not, on the board. So Thank you for that. And I just wanted to also thank our student board member, Destiny Lopez, for her comments. I think it's awesome that you can share your perspectives and your thoughts on what's going on in the district, and we look forward to hearing more from you and your ideas. So thank you for that. Dr. Avila, congratulations on your Superintendent of the Year. I must say that's a hell of an award, especially during a crisis like this year has been. Thank you for all of your hard work and everything you've done, and we'll continue to do. So we continue to support you, and you haven't let us down. So thank you for everything you do, and congratulations to you and all of your team, because your team also deserves some credit. And I mean, when I mean your team, I mean all of the people that really make up your cabinet, and and the people that are behind you 100%. So kudos to them too. I want to just send thoughts and prayers out to the Watkins family. Our condolences, Mr. Hawkins, a long-time community leader, not only on the board, but out here in our neighborhoods and surrounding communities. Longtime member of the West Side Action Group and other organizations for the African American community and just for the community in general. So our condolences to his family. I also wanted to send thoughts and prayers and our condolences to the Munoz family. Jesse Jesus Munoz recently passed away. His son Ken was on the water district a little further east from here. I forget the exact water district he served on, but Jesus Munoz was also a longtime community leader. Most notably worked for many years with the Chicano caucus, and he has recently passed away. And just our condolences and our thoughts and prayers to all of the people who have lost loved ones recently, whether it's because of COVID related or not. Sometimes we forget that people pass away naturally or for other reasons other than for COVID. And nowadays, for whatever, sometimes we want to lump all of that in together with the current pandemic. And I do believe that a lot of it is caused by the pandemic, but we also know that not everybody dies from just COVID. And in regards to the reopening of our schools, I still continue to believe that what our superintendent and his team and the roundtables that have participated in what the plan looks like for the reopening of our schools when the time is ready, I think it's still a good plan. I don't think any district plans on when the time is right to opening back up 100% full force. I think it has to be done gradually, and we need to continue to monitor that when we do eventually start to open back up. So I just continue to ask the parents for patience. I ran into a parent at Home Depot the other day and they said, "Hey, Mr. Montes, when you going to open the schools back up?" And I said, "Not anytime soon." And I don't mean it in a mean way, but we, with the numbers and the resurgence of COVID infections in our area, in our communities, we just have to be patient and just wait until it's officially safe to start reopening. So thank you again to everybody, and congratulations. Good night.
Okay, thank you, Vice President Montez. I guess it's down to my comments now. And I would like to give thanks for and to every Rialto Unified staff family member for your high performance in continuing to care for our Rialto community. The community family is a high priority. Caring for them, family, students, everyone is a high priority. And it's not a priority just for me or Dr. Avila or individuals, but for the board. So I really appreciate it and thank every one of you. A while back, I thought about the changes that COVID has imposed upon us. And COVID has forced an end to 160 years of teaching the old way. Since nobody likes change, I don't suppose that any of us are really comfortable, but I charge each one of you with just take it easy on yourselves, because we are in year one of teaching the new way. And each one of you teachers, you're designing the future of education. It'll never be the same again, because as we move forward after COVID, after things are safe to come back to school, the hybrid model will remain, because some excel that way, others do not. So we'll retain both, whatever is good for the student and community. So that's really it. And last thought, happy birthday, Miss Lewis. They will let us know that you're on the birthday list. So it's coming up next week, so happy birthday to you. Okay, we're back on public hearing, item D in the agenda, page 7 of 136. Sounds like a lot, don't it? Okay, opening of public hearing. Can I have a motion to open public hearing, please?
So moved.
Thank you, Ms. O'Kelly.
I'm from her face.
And can I have a second, please?
Walker, second.
Thank you, Ms. Okay, and we'll be taking the vote. So Stephanie Lewis, Clerk Lewis, please, your vote.
Aye.
Aye, thank you. And my vote is aye. Vice President Montez?
Aye.
Thank you, sir.
My vote's an aye.
Thank you. And Ms. Walker?
Aye.
Okay. We've never assumed just because you make a motion or second it that you are voting in the affirmative. Okay, the time is 8:17 for the record. And form for public disclosure of proposed collective bargaining agreement, also known as AB 1200. Public hearing. Pursuant to the requirements of government code and board policy, the form of public disclosure of proposed collective bargaining agreement, AB 1200, statutes of 1991, Chapter 1213, as revised by AB 2756, statutes of 2004, Chapter 25, Government Code 3547.5, between the California School Employees Association, Chapter 203 TSEA, and the Rialto Unified School District Board of Education is hereby posted in compliance with the legislative requirements for public notice, also known as sunshining. Okay, do we have any comments? Dr. Avila, has anyone posted comments on this?
I'm sorry, I wasn't.
Okay,
No, sir, Mr. Martinez, no comment on the item.
Okay, thank you. Sorry for making you press that mute button. Okay. Without any comments, we are now going to move for adjournment of the public hearing. So we wish to close public hearing, which is D2. Can I have a motion to close this public hearing?
I move. Chuck Lewis.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Lewis. Would you like to second that, Ms. Kelly?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Ms. O'Kelly, for the second. And Ms. Clerk Lewis, your vote is?
Aye.
You, my aye. Vice President Montez, your vote is?
Aye.
Thank you, sir. And Ms. O'Kelly, your vote is?
Aye.
Thank you. And Ms. Walker, how do you vote?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, the time is 8:20, and this closes the public hearing. Okay, now we continue on with item E as in echo, consent calendar items. All items on the consent calendar will be acted upon in one motion unless pulled by Board of Education members or the superintendent for individual action. Can I have a motion to have the consent calendar items voted upon?
Walker, so moved.
Thank you, Ms. Walker. Can I have a second, please?
I'm
Thank you,
seconding it, but are we amending it according to what Dr. Avila read earlier? He said something about the minutes E1.1. They're going to be approved at a later date.
Okay. Would you like to restate that motion, Ms. Walker, to amend these as Dr. Avila stated, to amend the minutes and also F4, please?
I move to adjust the agenda, to accept the agenda with the corrections for the minutes. And what item number was that? The other item number?
F4, please.
F4.
And F4.
Okay. And do you second that as amended, Ms. O'Kelly?
Yes, I second.
Okay, thank you both. Okay, vote by board members to approve the consent calendar items. And preferential vote by student board member, Ms. Lopez.
Aye.
Thank you. And Clerk Lewis, please.
Aye.
Thank you. My vote is also aye. And Vice President Montez?
Aye.
Thank you, sir. And Ms. O'Kelly?
Aye.
Thank you. And Ms. Walker?
Aye.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, that takes us to item F1, discussion action items. Resolution number 2021-25, tax and revenue anticipation notes, otherwise known as TRANS. Can I have a motion so I can read that? A motion and a second, please.
So moved.
Thank you, Ms. O'Kelly. Can I have a second, please?
Walker, second.
Thank you, Ms. Walker. Okay, and it reads, approve resolution 2021-15, for which a district will pledge a portion of the revenues expected to be received by the district during or attributed to the district for fiscal year 2021 to the repayment of the TRANS in an amount equal to the principal and interest due on the TRANS. However, the TRANS will be a general obligation of the district payable from its general fund, and to the extent pledged revenues are not available, the TRANS will be paid from other legally available monies of the district attributable to fiscal year 2021. Okay, all that is basically legal speak to say that the state did not pay us in July, carried that payment over to, in June, carried that payment over to fiscal year July 21, if I'm correct there. And so we are lacking funds in the amount of about $35 million. So this basically fills that gap. It's a temporary gap and just could not be helped thanks to COVID. Okay, questions, comments, or should I start vote by board members? Hearing no questions or comments. Vote by Clerk Lewis, please.
Abstain.
Okay, thank you, Clerk Lewis. I will vote in the affirmative. Aye. Vice President Montez?
Aye.
Thank you, sir. Ms. O'Kelly, how do you vote?
Aye.
Thank you, ma'am. And Ms. Walker, how do you vote?
Aye.
Thank you, ma'am. The resolution F1 passes. Okay, F2, English programs name change. Can I have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Thank you, Ms. O'Kelly. Can I have a second, please?
Walker, second.
Thank you, Ms. Walker. Take a sip of water here. Okay. Approve changing the name of English learner programs to multilingual programs to better reflect the assets-based approach towards multilingualism within the California English Learner Roadmap Policy and the California Education for a Global Economy, EDGE, initiative as implemented in the Rialto Unified School District at no cost to the district. Vote by board members. Ms. Lewis?
Aye.
Thank you. And myself, aye. Vice President Montez? Thank you, sir. And Ms. O'Kelly?
Aye.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Walker?
Aye.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, and F2 passes. F3, Health and Wellness Natural Preserve at Morris Elementary School. I'm looking for a motion and a second, please.
I move to accept the motion. Lewis, clerk.
Okay, thank you, Clerk Lewis. And can I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. O'Kelly. It's nice to sit back there instead of having to read all this, huh? Enjoy it.
Yes.
Okay, approved to move forward with the construction of the Health and Wellness Natural Preserve to improve as an environmental literacy school at Morris Elementary School at a cost not to exceed $200,000 and to be paid from the general fund, district strategic funding. Okay, vote by board members. Clerk Lewis?
Aye.
Thank you, ma'am, and I vote aye. Vice President Montez?
Aye.
Thank you, sir. And Board Member O'Kelly?
Aye.
Thank you. Board Member Walker?
Aye.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, and F3 passes. F4, agreement with VMware for software purchase of Carbon Black and monitoring services. I'm looking for a motion and a second, please.
Yeah, so this is the one that Dr. Avila had a read out about making it more transparent and understandable. So the item we're approving is going to be the one he read, is my assumption.
Yes, ma'am. Do you have questions? Does anyone have questions?
Removed from the agenda. He wanted to remove it from the agenda, and we'll talk about that in January. That was my understanding.
Okay, Dr. Avila, what is your pleasure, sir?
No, that item that was to be removed was the minutes from the previous meeting. This particular
Right.
item, we were just amending the support section on that page that was mentioned. So this item would stand, so we just wanted to reflect the the new language and the numbers that are now being included as part of this particular item. So this item was just amended but not removed.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Avila, for that clarification. Do you have further questions, Clerk Lewis?
No, thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. Ms. O'Kelly, do you have further questions?
No, I just wanted to clarify what we were approving, and it was what Dr. Avila read. That's what we were approving.
Yes, ma'am.
Just adding more detail to the item.
Yes, it looks like a lot of money, but at the same time, $1 million was saved. So it's something necessary for our network. So I am looking for a motion and a second, please.
I move.
Okay.
Thank you, Clerk Lewis. And a second, please.
Second.
Thank you, Ms. O'Kelly. Okay, and this is to approve an agreement with VMware, an annual software purchase of Carbon Black and monitoring services to support endpoint security for 15,000 devices and servers. Annual software license and monitoring services effective December 17th, 2020 through December 16th, 2021 at a cost not to exceed $779,115.06 and to be paid from CARES Learning Loss Funds and $779,000 I'll get that right, yeah. $779,115.06 from San Bernardino County Coronavirus Relief Fund, CRF, infrastructure grant for a total cost of $1,558,230.12. Okay, we move on with vote by board members. Clerk Lewis, please.
Aye.
Thank you. I am also an aye. Vice President Montez, please.
Aye.
Thank you, sir. And Ms. O'Kelly, how do you vote?
Aye.
Thank you. And Ms. Walker?
Aye.
Thank you all. And F4 passes unanimously. We are on to F5, Tentative Settlement Agreement with California School Employees Association, CSEA. Can I have a motion and a second, please?
Move to approve the tentative settlement agreement with CSEA.
Thank you, Ms. O'Kelly. Can I have a second? Going once.
Walker, second.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Walker. Going to make me approve it. All right, vote by board members. Clerk Lewis, please.
Aye.
Thank you. And I am also an aye. Vice President Montez, please.
Aye.
Thank you, sir. And Ms. O'Kelly?
Aye.
Thank you. And Ms. Walker?
Aye.
Thank you, ma'am. Congratulations to CSEA. Tentative settlement agreement is ratified. And our final item, which is G, adjournment. The next regular meeting of the Board of Education of the Rialto Unified School District will be held on January 13th, 2021 at 7 p.m., telephonically and via streamlined only. Okay, materials distributed or presented to the Board of Education at the board meeting are available upon request from the superintendent's office. Can I have a motion by Student Board Member Lopez for adjournment?
Does he have it? Mr.
I motion. Can I?
Okay.
Mr. Martinez?
Yes, Dr. Avila.
Just wanted to confirm if at this point we are to adjourn the meeting with the moment of silence for the two members who are on the list.
There was a lot of noise, 2 members, and I didn't catch names.
Yeah, we have information to adjourn the meeting with a moment of silence, acknowledging the passing of Mr. Charles Wesley Grandy and Mr. Walter Hawkins. Do you have that information to read out?
I do not, but if you do, please go ahead.
Okay. So tonight we have two dedicated education leaders in the Rialto Unified School District who passed. The Board of Education would like to acknowledge them both with a moment of silence. The first person is Mr. Charles Wesley Grandy, former Eisenhower High School history teacher and mock trial coach, who taught and influenced students for 37 years. He passed last month at the age of 89 in Bryan, Texas. Mr. Grande, who began teaching at Ike in 1964, was a decorated teacher who earned prestigious state and regional Educator of the Year awards. In 2016, at our district's 125th anniversary celebration, Mr. Grande was only one of 5 recipients to earn the RUSD Living Legend Award. Mr. Grande is survived by his son, Dr. Robert Grande, a daughter, Ms. Lisa Grande, and grandson, Matias Grande. The second person we lost is former RUSD Board of Education member, Mr. Walter Hawkins, who served on the RUSD Board of Education from 1999 to 2008. Mr. Hawkins, who was born in San Angelo, Texas, passed in Rialto last month due to complications of autoimmune deficiency. He was 72 years old. Mr. Hawkins, a resident of Rialto since 1978, was a director of policy and research for the undergraduate program at Cal State San Bernardino. He retired in 2007. He was also an influential community leader, sitting on various committees, including serving as an executive on the West Side Action Group, or WAG, and founder mentor of the Future Black Leaders Organization. Mr. Hawkins is survived by his wife, Professor Jean Peacock, 3 children and 6 grandchildren. The Board of Education, Dr. Avila, and the district's heartfelt thoughts are with the Grande and Hawkins families in their time of great loss. Please join us for a moment of silence to adjourn this meeting for these education leaders.
Thank you, Dr. Avila.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Avila. And let's see, the materials distributed or presented to the Board of Education at the board meetings are available upon request from the superintendent's office. So let's back up a little bit and get a motion from student board member Destiny Lopez to adjourn.
I motion to adjourn.
Absolutely perfect. Thank you, Ms. Lopez. And can I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. O'Kelly. And, okay, we are voting to adjourn. Should I take my time? I guess not. Good. Can I have your vote?
Aye.
Thank you. And I agree. I need some more caffeine. So I'm an aye. Vice President Montez.
Aye.
Thank you. Ms. O'Kelly.
Aye.
All right. And Ms. Walker.
Aye.
All right. Thank you. Thank you to everyone on the board, and good evening to everyone watching and listening. Thank you for your support and your attendance, and congratulations to all board members. And here we go with another year on the board. Very proud of all our board members and staff family. Good night, all. Time is